So I want to write a song. I'm not sure where I want to start. The first thing I'm going to do is use this simple 4/4 drum beat. So it's going to be like this: 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Bass drum on the 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. The 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 with my right hand here. This is my hi-hat, okay? So you usually play like this: 1 2 3 4 1. So 1 2 3 4. On the 3, my left hand is hitting, that's the snare drum, and you can hit that not on a note. Everything I'm doing here, I'm not hitting any of the notes. I'm hitting on the metal in between the notes, because you want to get like that drum kit sound. You clench your fist for that bass drum sound, and you kind of punch it. That's your bass drum. The hi-hat sounds a little bit hi-hatty sound, and then you can get that you got that drum kit beat going, yeah? Then on the left hand, when you're hitting that, you want that snare drum sound, bounce it back off quite quick. So basically, you have a drum beat there, and once you have a drum beat, you can branch off and then use different notes to add layers. So let's just start off with the simple 4/4 beat, and then we can add in certain notes. So you want to hit the bass drum on the 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Counting in fours. You hit your snare drum on the 3, okay? 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. All right, very simple. You can learn this in a matter of a day or less. If you're new to drumming, it takes a little bit of getting your head around. But once you've got it, it's quite easy then to add maybe an extra bass drum, or you can then start adding notes on the offbeat. So that's the beat in between the beats, if that makes sense. So okay, let's start adding some notes. So that's all we've got. All we've got at the moment is this. You might see sometimes I'm adding in a little hi-hat that on the left hand there, like in between the beats on the offbeat. You don't have to do that yet. It just adds a little bit of character to the rhythm there, and it just changes the feel slightly. It's a little bit more advanced, but you can start to add those in if you're already a drummer. So okay, keep counting 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Start practicing that rhythm. Okay, let's add some notes because it's kind of boring. So, okay. So I'm hitting that middle note, yeah? That could be like my root note. That can be then use higher notes which will branch off that. Alright, nice and simple, just using a simple pattern of adding in this central note on every other beat. So then we can add in, we can kind of see what fits with that. So all this is just experimentation at this point. I don't like that, so I'm going to do something else. So Okay, that sounds good, but it's a little bit boring, so I'm going to add in another element to that. Okay, so that's starting to build now. I quite like how that changes, so that we can use that as a verse, the first verse. So I'm just going to try and remember what I've done there. As soon as you hear something that you like, you bring that in, and then you hit a note, a bum note, you don't like it, you throw that out. Quite often you'll hit a note and it will be a mistake, but it'll sound good, so then you can use that. But once you've done something you like, you have to redo it and redo it, otherwise you might forget. And that can be quite frustrating. Or you can film yourself doing it and then watch it back later, but it's good to get into practice of playing it, hearing something you like, and then being able to play that again. So let's go. That was a little bit different, I think, but you get the gist of it. Now I'm going to try and change the feel, and then if you're using the same beat throughout the whole song, it's a little bit too similar, and you take more percussive elements out of the song and then slow it down, change the feel, or you can add more in. And let's try and change the feel, maybe change the rhythm a little bit, and let's go from there. So okay, so that sounds quite nice. I'm now transitioning into this far note on the right, and it's just opened up an entirely new feel to the song, and I can already think of a lot of different places I want to go from there. It's so much more helpful when you only add in like one extra note at certain times. What I mean by that is I've only started on these 4 notes here, okay? That means I've already got these 5 notes left to add into the song. If I start the song straight away with all the notes already, you're left with nothing. So there's no new surprises, there's no new twists. And I see that quite a lot with people playing the RAV Vast. They'll immediately start just playing every note. You know, it's great, but at the same time, then what have you got to add into that? So I just think it's a much better way of doing it, where you start with like 1 or 2 notes. If you're good with rhythm and you've got a few different beats, you can do a lot with just a few notes. Then later on you can add in just a random note and then another note and then build it, and then all of a sudden you've got this more complex song. Whereas if you just already going in with I've got nowhere else to go now to switch it up, and already I'm stuck with those notes. So there's a limited amount of notes on this drum, so you have to think about which notes you want to bring in at which part. Anyway, let's get back to that point. So I'm bringing in this far note on the right, it's changing the feel slightly, and then I'm going to try and find somewhere to go from there. Okay, so quite like that. So I've just added in that 1 note, changed the rhythm very slightly just to that, and then I'm gonna go straight back into what I was doing before. I'm not doing too much yet. I'm almost gonna change, gonna move into something more complicated, but then no, I'm going straight back into it. Okay, so it sounds pretty cool. Let's try that again. So I don't think that works. That note, I don't like that transition, so I'm going to go back to that bit. I'm going to try a different note. Okay, I think that builds better. And now I've just thought, if I go to that note and then I go to the note that I tried before, because that was too much of a jump, I want to go to that note that I just did and then back to the other note. Let's see if that works. Okay, so so you can see that works, and I can see how I'm going to build that in now. So I've added that layer to it, and then I'm going to go back into the main verse. So let's go from the main verse. Okay, so can see how I'm now adding in another section. I'm just going to this far left side now and changing the notes up a little bit, and again adding that layer. So the important thing to do is just to keep going back, and you go back to the start and then you build it and you build it and you build it. But often I forget, and then I gotta go redo it again, and then it's quite frustrating. You could film it, you could record yourself playing. Everyone has their own way, but I do think it's a good idea to go from memory, because then it obviously gets a lot easier and it's good practice for doing it in the future. So yeah, when you redo it and go over it, things are going to change, and they'll keep changing until you come up with something that you actually like. So that's good. Change is good. Like, just let it flow, let anything go. Okay, so here goes. I didn't really like that end. I'm not sure what to do there yet at this point, so I might try something different. So I think I'm going to then kind of use some chords where I'll hit like two notes together. So maybe we'll try this. So yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm just hitting two notes at the top, two notes at the top on the left, and then bottom left and middle. Okay, so that kind of works. So still got that rhythm going on my right hand. Repeat that. Maybe one more time. After that, I feel like that's kind of built up into something. I don't know. Let's. so I hope that gives you a very rough idea of how I kind of build my songs, starting off with some sort of beat and then adding in certain notes, and I hope that helps. If you're not a drummer or whatever, that's probably going to be quite difficult, but start learning that today, that 4/4 beat, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, because there's so much you can do with that.